And it's up there. They're going to be in the queue. I mean, the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everybody please silence their phones if they haven't done so already. Do any of the members of the board have any questions about the consent agenda?
Oh, I read it.
Same, no questions from me.
No questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as written.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of 12/10/24 and 12/31/24.
Did you read them?
I read them.
Are they okay?
They seem okay to me.
Because you're a minute. I'll make the motion, we approve the minutes of 12:10 and 12:31.
He was.
Yeah. That's all.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 12/31 was pretty short, which was nice. Yes. All right, authorize payment of the bills.
Make a motion that we authorize the payment of the bills for A fund vouchers 1511 through 1546 in the amount of $151,130.94. For F and G fund vouchers number 485 through 495 in the amount of $38,458.58. And the TNA fund vouchers number 50 through 52 in the amount of $16,396.84.
Do I have a
Second.
second? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Privilege of the floor. Mike?
Yeah, I can. I'm trying to remember what I told you last time.
I forgot my notes, so Fred told me that you were gonna be here and I was going, oh, thank goodness.
All right. All right, our building project, once again, is being delayed due to our engineers with the drawings. Now they're telling me we're gonna get them early spring. Well, we're very, very frustrated. There's nothing we can do. We were supposed to have them a year ago. I wanted to be into the building part. Fred started this back in 23, so I mean, our hands are tied. We've already paid them a bunch of money. We can't shift gears at this point. But I call them weekly, I email them weekly, but. So that's where we stand on that. So as soon as we get it, but I'm gonna be honest with you, we're really gonna think hard and long if we're gonna go out to bid first thing in the spring. I've been talking to one of our contractors that did a lot of the work upstairs here. He said, let him look at it, but he's gonna advise us and maybe the wrong time to go to bid because come spring, everybody wants to be working outside. We may not get the best, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get our prints. Hopefully it's sooner than later. If we get them right along, I think we go to bid, but we don't get them too early. So that's the bad news. We didn't get the, we applied as a town for comprehensive grant. And we did not get that. So we gotta go back to the drawing board on that, figure out what we want to do. We know we need to update our comprehensive plan. The last time they did it was 15-20 years ago. They did it in-house. I don't think we're up to doing it in-house, so. We gotta look at some other options. I'm gonna have a debriefing with the committee that turned us down, see where we can get it. Other than that, we approved unanimously on the board for your police department to put a little room upstairs. And,
I told Bob that, he was happy.
yeah, so that's all good. Other than that, I mean, we're cruising along, our hiccups, just like you guys got hiccups, but we're here to support Pat and support you guys and go from there.
Thanks, Mike. Anybody else? Privilege of the floor? Okay. We have no old business at this time. New business. All right, we need to do the board vote for the appointment of a new mayor.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Pat Boone as mayor.
In a second now.
All in favor?
Aye.
Since I would be self-serving if I said something, I'm gonna keep quiet.
Since you skipped the discussion set.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I do have some comments that I want to make.
Oh, okay, discussion.
I just want to say that in the time that you and I have served together on this board of trustees, I've been so impressed by the commitment that you've shown to the village. The people who work here and the people who live here about balancing the needs of the village and the best way to accomplish it. This is an easy vote. This is an easy vote. I believe it's an easy vote for the others. I know that a lot of the work that you've put in has been behind the scenes, and I'm sure that people in the village who are gonna see more and more about what happens under the Clune administration are gonna be so impressed, just as I've been, about your intelligence, your work, and your commitment to this community.
Thank you.
It was an easy vote.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that. I just can't think of anybody that would be more prepared to walk into those shoes than you, that. Just the time that you spent being around and absorbing knowledge and stuff from Alan. I just think you're ready to step right in and take off.
Thanks, guys.
I predicted this about 5 years ago.
We know.
See, this is why I was trying to avoid the discussion, but thank you,
Oh,
I'm
fine.
blushing.
I wish to speak as well as your historian. I'm here tonight because I wanted to see history in the making. A smooth transition of power from one to the other. I can foresee only good things happening. I want to tell people the first time I met you was, I don't know how many moons ago. I was attending downstairs a meeting of the Landmark Society of Cortland County, and they had someone from the state, I believe, doing a presentation, and this new face, yours, actually two new faces, you and your wife kept come walking in, and I said, who is this guy? And I began to learn more and more about you, that you were a retired military officer and had served your nation well, and that you had purchased the late Anna Hilton's house in the historic district, and here he is concerned about historic preservation. This is good. I like this guy already. And then when I learned that you had been at a table across, face to face with either Taliban or the enemy in Afghanistan, this is impressive. What I really want to say is, I've always been troubled by the number of people maybe in the Homer area who would feel that Homer was too concerned about the local people who were here for a long time versus the new ones. And I didn't like that idea of us versus them. Or like being a navel, the innies and the outies. No, there's no innies and there's no outies. There's just us and the people who've come here to Homer to make this their home. It's appropriate that Homer should have the word home in it. We thank you and Ed and Elizabeth and others who don't have roots here, but have come here to make your roots here and have thus far served this community nobly, and we anticipate only the best is yet to come. So thank you for coming to Homer.
Thank you, Martin. All right, we're gonna get the swearing in knocked out here, make it official here.
Go. State your name.
I, Patrick Michael Clune,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of mayor
the duties of mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Hey, welcome aboard.
All right, thank you. Now, Martin, I will say that when I first came here, I didn't need glasses to do this.
Neither did I.
All right, we got that done. Now is my.
Okay,
What's that?
you okay?
I'm okay. I got my Diet Coke here. All right. We now have a vacancy in the deputy mayor position. So I'd like to appoint, I'm going to appoint because it's an appointment, Elizabeth McGrath as deputy mayor. She has graciously accepted, so long as I don't do anything foolish like take up skydiving. So you're safe on
Congratulations.
that.
Good choice.
Yes, good choice.
Next, we need to appoint the village clerk as interim treasurer, as we are currently treasurer-less. Is that an appointment or is that a board vote, Dan?
I can be board vote.
I will make that a board vote, I think.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Dan, our village clerk, as an interim treasurer.
I'll second.
Discussion?
All good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now, for the changes, there's a trustee vacancy. So, went through some of these things, cleaned this up a little bit, and we will get this out in the Homer News, and of course, we have the, other news agencies here, so to the Village of Homer residents, we have a vacancy, so I'm looking to appoint a new trustee to the village board. This will be a mayoral appointment. The Village of Homer is accepting applications from village residents interested in serving their community as a member of the Board of Trustees. This position is to be filled through an appointment by the mayor, myself. If approved, you will serve in this position through December 31st, 2025. But you will be up for a vote in the next scheduled general election by the village, which will be held November 2025. The winner of that election will serve a full 4-year term. Please contact the County Board of Elections if you have questions of regards to the election November 2025. In the meantime, anybody that's interested, please send a short bio and resume. You can either email it to me at pcloon@homernewyork.org, which is on our village website, or you can drop it off in person to the village clerk. I'm trying to think if we had another option on that one, or, oh, yes, or you can mail it in, which to the town hall, attention of the village clerk. Like to have these in prior to the 28th of January, at which time I'll probably do a cutoff, depending upon the number of people we have responding. I will set up interviews, and then we will go from there. My intent would be to have somebody for the February meeting. That is my intent. We'll see how we do on that. All right, discuss the draft budget and set a public hearing for adoption. I'm gonna hand this off to Dan on this.
All information is in. Still a few questions to go through, or at least to tighten up the budget. I need to set the public hearing for our next meeting, which is on the 28th.
Your motion for
I'll take a motion to set a public hearing for January 28th.
I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing for our budget on the 28th of January.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All, discussion?
that? Gonna do it.
Gotta do it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, our contract with Syracuse Haulers renewal is coming up. And Dan, I believe that's our tomorrow meeting, correct?
Correct.
We are going to be looking at, Dan and I have a meeting with them tomorrow at 10. We're gonna be looking to see if there's gonna be a cost savings if we do the recycling to twice a month instead of every week. If we think that we can find significant cost savings on that, we will address it at that time, but part of that will be open to discussions with Syracuse Haulers tomorrow. I believe that we're all in agreement into looking into that, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Gotta save money. County's gonna ding us 40%, so we gotta start saving now.
The Ed took charge, and we've got a outdoor TV. Is currently over in the rec department. I know Andrew and the fire department are working together to get this set up. This is part of our research for crafting an electronic messaging center sign, more locally known as the LED sign law. So we're trying to get that out as quickly as we can so people can, and our residents can start providing feedback on what they think. This is not a definitive. This is us gathering information on what works, what doesn't work, and we are really looking forward to feedback from our residents on this as we try to craft the best possible solution for this. I know Andrew has been working with the fire department on that. And we're looking, Ed, anything else you want to add? Because you've been kind of working on this too.
I just wanted out, soon, if we need to have it before the Winter Fest, which is on the 25th. So if you could have it out anytime you want, I know you don't wanna roll it out. But you could if you wanted to, just have me or anybody else walk by, 2 people. So I would recommend we do that if we could, a couple times anyhow, before it gets to pain in a buddy.
I know Andrew's been working with the fire department.
He's a
met with
busy
them.
dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for our residents, when you see it out there, please provide feedback.
Andrew's got a book.
Please do not get
Everything in it.
upset. This is not a final. This is part of a process.
And Winterfest would be the best time to get it out there, so we can get the utmost feedback all at one time.
Yeah, we can actually have, I don't know, can we get maybe a student or something that sit out there, not sit out there, but maybe a table and take notes and comments from people or somebody, maybe the fire department can, try to snag volunteers to join at the same time or something.
That's what I do.
I don't know, it's just ideas.
Oh, Jay's listening. He can- All right, next, Park Outdoor. They were the ones that had the billboard on the linear park. They moved it. They asked if they could store the pole that they're going to reinstall on the museum side on the village side. My recommendation on that is no, because of the issues we've had with State Park. And my concern is if they came down and saw that may delay.
Yeah.
I'm
in agreement.
Cause
with that.
grief.
There's plenty of room in their parking lot for that.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we are looking to do a memo or agreement, and that Park Outdoor would agree not to have any LED or digital signage on the north facing or the park facing side, as so long as we agree not to plant trees to obstruct their billboard. Additionally, my thought with that would be that we also add in that because the park is a family-friendly place, that there would be no drug or alcohol advertising on the north-facing side.
They can't do cigarettes.
Right. If the board is in agreement on that, we will draft a memo
I'm in agreement.
Does that include the cannabis thing as well?
that would, yes.
Send us.
Okay, we'll have them send us a memo, but that would be what I would ask to be included in that.
Makes sense.
Next thing is, Park Outdoor, would possibly like to place a pole on our property for a power, to provide power to their billboard sign.
No,
Well, let me. Yeah, that would be at their cost, and it'd be for the south facing side, but if they do that, we could possibly put an agreement in that if we need power when we do the linear park, that we could tie into that pole for our own purposes to provide power.
As long as it doesn't jeopardize anything that they,
Right.
Yeah, I'm open to hearing more from them about what they're proposing, but
Because that is an option that they looked at, but it'd be very costly for them. I could ask them to send us what they were thinking on and that would be something too, is that I want them to send us.
Poles are ugly. Yeah, I understand the cost, but we're being, kind of, we got being pretty bad from the state, so far as I'm concerned. I just soon say, keep the pole on your side completely. We need power, we'll have it within. And that'll be if we need power, we'll pay for it if we need it.
How about
That's
how
not
about I
bad.
have them send us what they're thinking?
Oh, sure,
And
sure.
then we can take it from
I'm
there.
inclined with what I just said.
Okay.
I can be convinced not to go the other way.
All right, the Homer Winterfest sponsorship. What would you guys like to what level would you like to sponsor? So. 4 pages into the packet. We could do advertiser for 100.
What do you recommend there?
I
And put you on the spot.
don't think so.
How about a supporter? If you gotta save a little money.
I think that a supporter is in line with what we've done in the past. It looks like a great schedule. Traditionally, the village has helped in some way, and I think it's one of the sculptures. The amount at supporter level seems consistent with that.
Yep.
And I think they're also really, we have a functioning ice rink.
Yes.
I know I get to go man the table over at the antiques. Get to visit everybody.
He's not trying to sell you cheap.
No, you wouldn't get much.
All right,
Yeah, I like the supporter idea.
That makes so much.
I'll accept a motion for the supporter level.
I'll make a motion that we sponsor the supporter level for the Homer Winter Fest.
Second.
And also $350.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the NIPA LED maintenance options.
I read through all that and, it goes from do nothing and they're gonna change the little sensors. As I understand it, correct me, because I think you're more up on this. We have smart sensors where you can actually go to some keyboard and you can modify the color of the light and it tells you which one is out. So you can modify it remotely. And the company that did all that kind of stuff went bankrupt or something. So NIPA, which is New England Power Authority, says that, and 3% go bad, and we've got 155 lights, 355. So anyhow, 3%. So you're gonna have that go bad every year. So those sensors can't be replaced. And so they'll put them in with just the kind of sensors you have in your car that tell you to turn your lights on, just a photoelectric kind of thing. And they'll do that for free. And so I'm, given that we're gonna get dinged by the state, or the state, the county for taxes, I say, then if something changes, we can modify it and go back to somebody else's monitor. But I say go with the 0 option.
That'd be, so the options we have are do nothing. And we would stick with standard photocells, which are the dusk to dawn. Option 2, migrate to the Signify platform with discounted pricing, which we have the pricing in here. Option 3, migrate over time, replacing failed nodes or gateways with Signify equipment, but without pricing discounts and no NIPA cost share. Or option 4, purchase nodes at a discount and the customer installs and manages maintenance, monitoring, and repairs. And everything besides option 1 is going to cost money. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze on options 2, 3, and 4. I think our lights do the job that they're designed to do with the dusk to dawn operation.
Just for people's information, when we changed the LED lights in the village, prior to the changeover, we were paying at that time $95,000 a year for lights for nighttime for safety. It's now 29,000. So we are saving the village a ton of money, and we're paying for the lights. And this is just, we have to go back. Now, we've done a good job with LED lights. It's a good thing.
If the board wants to ruminate a little bit more, if a little more information, you're certainly welcome. The decision doesn't have to be made till the 31st. So we could put it on the 28th agenda if you want to. If you're ready to go, that's fine too.
It's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned, not one, everything else is gonna cost a village money.
Yeah.
And who knows, and it's kind of a kludge. It's not, we can always, sometime in the future, somebody comes up with a better, node thing. That might be the way to go. As technology changes, it goes down in price. So if we need to go back to, because I don't think we're modifying the lights any, once they're set. They're kind of set, aren't they? Or do they go back to some higher standard if this thing goes away?
Well, no,
Because
there
some
are,
people don't want them, the bright, some
no, everything's pretty much set. It's just how we,
they will change.
right, no, they won't.
Oh, I definitely could save money too. I'll make a motion that we accept the number one bid.
I'll second that.
Discussion, which I think we've already pretty much discussed.
I believe so.
All in favor of option one, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None heard. Option one. The Winterfest fireworks display.
There's a lot of paperwork on that.
I know.
I've never seen that before. I thought it was pretty impressive. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
All, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None heard. Fireworks for Winterfest. All right. Dan, I hand it over to you for the, approve the two resolutions.
Approval of the 2025 amendment to the municipal cooperative agreement for the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium. Whereas the Village of Homer is a participant in the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium, a municipal cooperative organized under Article 47 of the New York Insurance Law. And whereas the municipal participants in the consortium, including this body, have approved and executed certain municipal cooperation agreements, effective date of October 1, 2010. And whereas Article 47 of the New York Insurance Law and the rules and regulations of the New York State Department of Financial Services set forth certain requirements for governance of municipal cooperatives that offer self-insured municipal cooperative health insurance plans. And whereas the agreement sets forth in section Q2 that continuation of the consortium under the terms and conditions of the agreement or any amendments or restatements thereto shall be subject to board review and upon acceptance of the new participant hereafter. And whereas the municipal cooperative agreement requires the amendments to the agreement be presented to each participant for review and adopted by a majority vote by its municipal board. And whereas the Village of Homer is in receipt of the proposed amended agreement and has determined that it is in the best interest of its constituents who are served by the consortium to amend the agreements as set forth in the amended municipal cooperative agreement. Now therefore be it resolved that upon receipt and review of the amended agreement, the Village of Homer approves at a meeting of the governing body held on 1/14/2025 and authorizes the chief elected official to sign the 2025 amendment to the municipal cooperative agreement effective 1/1/25 of the Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium as recommended by the Board of Directors.
Motion that we accept the what is this? Resolution as read.
I'll second that.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
We save a lot of money by going through those guys.
Yes, we do.
It's a good deal.
Resolution 2, designate Village of Homer Corporation Council as Fair Housing Officer. Whereas under the Title 8 of the 1968 Civil Rights Act, the Federal Fair Housing Law and Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988, it is unlawful to discriminate in the sale, rental, or financing of housing based on certain protected characteristics, and certain federal, state, and local fair housing and anti-discrimination laws protect individuals from such housing discrimination. And whereas protected characteristics include, but are not limited to, race, creed, color, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, military status, sex, age, disability, marital status, lawful source of income, or familial status. And whereas any individual who believes they have been the victim of housing discrimination in the sale, rental, or financing of housing has the right to file a complaint with its local government through its Fair Housing Office. And whereas the Village of Homer previously designated a specific employee as its fair housing officer to whom complaints could be brought, and said employee is no longer employed by the village, necessitating a designation of another person to accept complaints. And whereas in an effort to promote continuity with its fair housing complaint process, the village desires to name the village clerk, Dan Egner, as its fair housing officer, and account clerk, Maureen Hoy, successor, in the event Dan Egner no longer holds the position. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby designates the Village of Homer Village Clerk Dan Egner Corporation Council and as its fair housing officer. And be it further resolved that any individual Who desires to file a fair housing complaint alleging discrimination should contact village clerk Dan Egner at 607-749-3322 or clerk@homerny.org.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? So heard. Motion carried. Comments by the attorney?
No.
Comments by board members? Ed?
I'm gonna go in and see the IDA, Brian, or Brendan O'Brien tomorrow. So, I've got a few things I wanna talk about, like the dog park. We're getting a debrief on our, failed, river trail, on the 22nd at 2:00. Everybody's available or can be, the Zoom thing, so you don't have to come to the office to do that. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna talk about a few other grandiose ideas that you guys know I come up with all the time. So, everything's going good, I think. In the marriage.
Elizabeth?
I have nothing for tonight.
I just got a couple of things. I spoke with Mike Park earlier. I think I brought up the idea of the fried jelly.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's gonna, I gave him a rough sketch of what I thought it should look like, and it was really rough. But anyways, he's gonna come up with a price and to see if we can make that come to fruition, because I think that would be awesome. You know, a flower pot on either side of the alleyway, an archway with fried jelly, you know, just because of that.
Something, our DRI village money could be put
Oh,
towards.
you know, that's a possibility. I thought
I
about that.
think we probably should. I mean, we got $1.2 million, I think, or more, or right around there.
Just in efforts to for
Yeah, because we want
beautification
people to come to Homer, and that would definitely make the village look better.
Yeah.
And that 1.2 is supposed to help economic development.
They definitely.
And so if you got ideas for economic development.
Not just, out front
Yeah,
beautification, but, get that alleyway looking better, because it's an unused space that has potential.
It helps with wayfinding,
yeah,
which is part of the DRI.
yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. So you can actually pay them.
And the only thing I had,
Make it done right.
I had the privilege of, speaking with two of the committee members of the Winterfest Committee. It's gonna be huge. We've had the most, community members in a long time. There's so many things to do. And just for example, like you said about the crafts and antique things.
Yeah.
Last year, there were 23, people that came with, set of booths. This year, there's 37.
Wow.
So
Great.
That's good.
everything, but the chili cook-off is back. At the Center for the Arts, so anybody and everybody get out
Is there a
and,
wing eating contest?
yes, I think 3:00 at Home Run.
Because
I
I haven't
believe,
seen
don't
the
quote me.
chief, is he gonna run again, chief? That's, you know,
Chief, are you going to defend your title?
You lost last year, aren't it?
Well, I lost last year, but I'm gonna give it another shot. So,
Hey, put me
Looking
down for
for-
$100, chief.
oh, appreciate it. I was just gonna say, I'm looking for sponsors, so
You get 100 from me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's it.
Chief, since we have you on here, you'd mentioned something about, train and railroad work coming up this week.
Still do not have a definite on that. So,
Okay,
I
what's
talked
the
to him.
timeframe that-
What's that?
What was the time frame that they had tentatively?
Well, when I spoke with him yesterday, he said it was either gonna be Thursday or Friday. They still don't have a definite, date yet. So they're working up in Apelia right now. And they're working their way north, so. And, what Pat's referring to is, they're gonna be replacing some rails. And they're gonna be coming through the village into the city of Cortland. It could cause some traffic issues. Trying to avoid our congested times, which is the mornings and the afternoons, because I don't want to, I don't want anything to affect any of the school bus runs or commuter traffic. So Haven't heard anything more on any plans. He was supposed to let me know today and never did.
As soon as you find out, chief, let us know and we'll make sure it gets out.
Yeah, definitely will.
Seems like they could appropriate this.
Hey, chief, I got a great idea for next year's Winterfest. You're gonna have that firearms trainer.
Yep.
Think that should be a stop for people to come up and for $2 they can go shoot some bad guys. Kind of like a
Well, actually,
video
wouldn't
game. And it helps meet the police officers. And, you know, it would be a good thing because when they shoot the baby, they say, oh, you're bad, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah,
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I think that could be a fundraiser and a community. I don't know, maybe you don't charge, but anyhow, I don't know, it's an idea.
No, we gotta have to
Well,
look.
they
into
do that,
it.
they go out and don't shoot the civilian, you know? Don't you ever watch these
There might be
movies?
some code restrictions because the access to that is limited.
Oh, maybe they can move it out someplace.
You're not gonna move it, they're gonna build
Oh, it's permanent.
a
yeah.
permanent room up there. So we're gonna have to, you
All
know, if you're
right,
thinking of
Mike
doing something
Clark, I
like
liked
that.
you until now. You're hurting me, pal.
Yeah, well, you know.
Bob, anything else?
Practicality comes in.
Chief, anything else for the group?
No, I do need to talk to you afterwards though.
Okay.
No way.
Jay Keith,
Welcome.
sorry to keep you guys to the end. You guys got anything? Once?
Oh, I'm all set.
Okay. All right, last thing I had is we have been going with, after elections, we've been having the first Monday after the election as the start of for the next trustees or for the elected officials. But we can also make it 1 January. That might make it easier that would line everything up. We go with the November general election and then 1 January starts the elected officials year. Currently, we have our general election in November and then the first Monday in December is when that takes place. We don't need a decision on that right now, but would like you guys to consider.
What do you want?
I think historically, we have used the month of December to do a lot of work on the village budget. And it really makes sense that the people who are working on it are people who are very familiar with it.
Just in case we
Right.
get kicked
So,
out, which is possible.
I think moving to January 1 makes sense and inviting, if somebody is newly elected and they want to come to the meetings and participate in discussion, I think that's great. But because we often start budget discussions in November and it carries on to December, I think it makes sense that we try to, complete the process as a board before new people.
Not a bad idea.
That makes.
I guess I'd be for it.
And that would also put us more in line with all the other elections. So, I will direct our attorney to look into starting that then.
Makes sense.
Okay, questions from our news agencies?
I just have one, is the copy of the budget gonna be on the website?
When it's complete, yes.
Yes.
So, is there, you can look at the preliminary budget or not?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we've got a copy here if you want.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I'd rather, we still need to ask some questions because I don't want, numbers to get out there. So, sorry. So,
Any other questions? All right, unfortunately, at this time, I have to go into executive session per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, dealing with personnel. And I have to look up the rest. Medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to essentially a Section 105 path.
I make a motion that we go into executive.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll also note the time is now 6:40.
Yes, yeah, Maury.
For one thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be all right. The downtown revival.